Bachata. Today we're going to look a little bit at what we did last Bachata lesson, which was doing the basics, and take two of those basics and show you how you can do 5 or 6 different moves just from those two basics. So first of all, let's look at the two basics that I'm going to be working with today. One is just called the side basic, which was side, close, side, tap, side, close, side, tap. And from a different angle, side, close, side, tap, side, close, side, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is also from the leader's point of view, starting with the left foot. When I face my partner, I would be starting with my right foot as the follower. The solo turns are to the right and left, and they create the same type of pattern, moving patterns, where you're going to have an 8 count. So I'm going to start with my left foot, and I'm going to rotate to the side, close, side, tap, and then to the right, side, close, side, tap. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. From another angle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the two basics that I'm going to use today, and I'm going to call up my partner John to help me show you the many things we can do with these two particular moves. Is John, come up, and John is going to lead me in a couple of different variations. So first of all, we have the solo turns, which can be done exactly as it sounds solo. So as we do these, we're going to let go. They're also known as free spins. So we'll do a basic first, just to warm up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you notice that John's arms are moving away from us. That's going to create a little rotation in the opposite direction that we both are going to turn. As he brings his hands through the partnership, we both is going to let go, and that will allow us to turn together. Then he'll bring his hands to the opposite direction again, and as he brings them through, it will allow us to turn together. So there will still be an 8 count. We'll do a basic first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lead, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the taps, as I mentioned in the first video, are on 4 and 8. And the follow is going to be on the 1 or the 5. So what's going to happen is he's going to begin to lead me on those taps. Watch this. We'll do a basic first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You notice the wind up is on 8. As he brings those hands through, we're both stepping on the 1, and we will know to turn at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your 4, and then we turn on again together on the 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll do those dances again for you a little more continually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is the solo turns right and left for both the follower and the leader. Now, there's another variation that's very simple, and that is the leader would not have to turn. He could do the exact same leading and just let the follower turn. He's still going to bring his hands, wind this up and let me go, but he will not turn. One of the things that will help us stay together is spotting. So I'm going to be this time focusing, instead of on you guys, I'm going to focus on my partner so you can see how that spotting is going to help me stay in front of my partner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spot, 2, 3, 4. Spot, 6, 7, 8. You can see we made the same count, but I did not lose my partner by turning off my track or losing sight of him. This way it kept me in front of my partner, because basically I have no hands here. I'm hands free. Okay, so that is another variation. And we're going to move on to the underarm turns. So underarm turns, just what they sound like, they're under the joined arms. So if John just raised up his left hand for a minute, you would see that would form a little archway. And that would tell me, as the follower, that I'm going to go under in that direction. However, if he raises his hand in the opposite direction, he makes a window. And that window tells me I'm going to turn the opposite direction to the left under the raised hands. So I can only turn right or left, thank goodness, right? And so there I go. It's going to be indicated by the leader's shape that he gives me. So I'm going to do the exact same footwork, and this time, once again, the leader is not going to turn. He's going to raise his hand. I'm going to say start to raise it think about raising it on the tap. It will be up by the 1 or the 5. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, tap. And now it's starting to come up. It will be up there by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 6, 7, 8. So you can do them right one after another. You can do a basic in between. So I'll do one basic first, and then the 2 turns in a row. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or he could have done a half a basic in between. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. No turn. 5, 6, 7, 8. No turn. Another half basic. And 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can put half basics in between, so you're not constantly turning if that's what the leader decides to do. So we're going to just, at this point, put those 2 kind of elements together. He's going to do a free spin, and then he's going to give me my turn. So just put some basics in between. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Free spin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I turn 2, 3, 4. I turn again 6, 7, 8. And that can be mixed up in a bunch of different ways. You can see it really varies a lot depending on what the leader decides to do with the leads. So now we're going to proceed with another variation. When we hold both hands, something different happens. And some of you have been in my classes where we've done raps, and we can do them in this dance as well. So a rap is created when the leader leads an undrummed turn to the left or to the right, like we just demonstrated, but does not let go of the opposite hand. So I'm going to demonstrate, if John raises his hand in that arch shape again, and I turn in that arch shape and keep turning, it's going to create a parallel rap. And that parallel rap is what we saw in the other dances, if you guys remember that. And then if he turns me the opposite way, we're not going to do this today, but we'll just show you, it could create a sweetheart rap. So today we're going to be working with the parallel rap, and the parallel rap can be done on either side. So if he raises his other hand up, I can also follow into that shape as well. So we're just working with the parallel raps today. So we're going to do a basic, and we're going to do a parallel rap to my right first, and then stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, tap 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do that from another angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, as you can see, the lead was the same. That the leader's hand went up. But I'm going to show you a couple things that can happen that happen in all the dances with raps. Is that the follower doesn't quite know where do I stop this thing, and they stop something like this. Okay, and what we want to do is keep turning till we can't turn anymore. If we dropped our hands, we would be in a parallel position, and this is why this is called a parallel rap. And I want to look at my dance partner. I don't want to be looking over here. So that is a couple of things that can happen. You can overturn or underturn it. And then when he leads me out of this, I want to look in that shape. So all inside turns or underarm turn lefts, I don't want to look away. I want to look inside that circle so that I come back out of it very nicely. And we'll turn around and demonstrate that. Another way, please. So here's a couple of things, like I said, with the parallel wrap to my right, I'm not going to do the footwork, I'm just going to go into the shape. I underturn it. You see, we're not facing each other. It's not very attractive. Now I shape it a little bit better. I keep turning till I can't turn anymore, and I will be facing John. And when he lets me out, instead of turning away right away, I'm still looking at him and looking at into the shape as long as possible with that shape, and then come back and face my partner. So it creates a really comfortable feeling and not an awkward feeling and a much more attractive shape. We're going to do that again for you using that technique on both angles so you can see. We'll do a basic first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shape it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now for another side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, just for a variation, you can also do this with the other side. And so, by raising this hand hold, it'll be John's right hand, my left hand, he can make an arch and do the same thing. But because that side starts with his right foot and my left, we'll do a half a basic to achieve this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need that extra just to even out the 8 count and make it nice so that the leader is always starting with his left foot and finishing with his left foot free, and the follower is always starting with the right foot and finishing with the right foot free. We would add that extra half a basic. Let me show you that slowly. So we start with a half a basic. 1, 2, 3, 4. So John's going to start to lead that on 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we have a little different feeling to this, another parallel shape. We drop our arms, you can see we're parallel. And so we're in a parallel shape. And now he's going to bring this hand over towards my face so that I can get out of this. And 5, 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do that again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finish at 5, 6, 7, 8. And right now, that's all the steps I'm going to do today. But we're going to show you a little bit how to combine them. So we're going to start from the very beginning again, and I want John to put in a couple of the freestyle steps in between. So I'll call it out so he knows what I mean. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to freestyle 7, 8. Solo turn. Then we do a basic. And my underarm turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to do just my turn freestyle. Then we're going to do a basic to the parallel wrap. Then we're going to freestyle me the other way. And then the parallel wrap the other way. Okay, thank you. So have fun with it. You know, you get creative with it. You can do a lot with this. You can mix and match. Like I said, the free spins can go in there. You can do one at a time. You can do them both. By that I mean this. You could just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then free spin together. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then her underarm turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can mix and match them. We're going to try it with some music together and leave you with that today. I hope you're enjoying bachata, but don't go away. At the very end, I'm going to give you some technique to practice. Okay, so that's everything in bachata that will get you the basics, get you moving in the dance. Things you can practice would be to do the warm-up in the first video lesson. But let me give you some of the technique, and I'll leave you a little bit of technique. Every Latin dance has some technique to do, and everybody has, that's what makes it so special. So this is a much slower dance. You have time for a lot of technique. One of the things you can practice is staying down on the first 3 counts. So basic technique is down, 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 tap. Down, 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 and tap. Now as I tap, you'll see a little lift. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Down, 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 tap. Down, 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 tap. I'll turn around and I'll do actually the followers part here. Down, 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 tap. Down, 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 tap. So you see, when I do the tap, it's just naturally you're gonna get a little lift. You're not gonna stay as down. So what they came up with is a hip lift. That's an extra little layer to this. And I'm going to show you what you can practice in a hip lift. So it happens when you're tapping. It's optional. When you're first learning, you're probably not going to be able to actually apply that on every single move. But practice this separately. So I'm going to have one leg straight, one bend. And I'm going to just practice doing it by putting my hand on the hip of the bent step that I'm tapping. And I'm going to straighten, and I'm going to let it bend. Straighten and bend. Hip, lift. Hip, lift. Just remember that this is going to come back down, this hip. So as you straighten the knee, the hip will lift. You can see my hands going up, and then it will come down. I'll do it on the other side too, and it's something you can practice. Just practice going straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. So where does that happen? On the tap step. Down, 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 tap, lift, come back down. Down, 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 tap, lift, come back down. Down, 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 tap, lift, down, 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 tap, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll leave you with that today. I thank you very much for joining me for the bachata classes. We'll see you next week for salsa. We're going to revisit it, do some new things. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.